As today's verse of the day comes from Luke 12 and 27. It's more like trusting in God. Kind of like yesterday. It says this: consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Let's open this up in context. So let's go back up to 26. 26 starts with an if, so that means we have to go back. 25 starts with an and, so we got to go back again. And let's start at 24. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse or barn, and God feeds them. How much more are ye better than the fowls? Think about that. Jesus is speaking. When we get to worrying and considering, as yesterday talked about clothes and meal, and we constantly worry about what we need to go buy, but yet the birds, the squirrels, the animals, none of them needed to put on a mask, did they? Verse 25, and which of you with talking thought can add to his stature 1 cubit? Can you add to what God is doing? At least 1 cubit. The answer is no. He's already provided. 26 says, if you then be not able to do that thing which is least, why take you thought for the rest? Why do we trip ourselves out? Why do we constantly stress ourselves out about things that don't have anything to do with the cost of milk, egg, bread, and cheese? Why do we constantly do that to ourselves? Consider the lilies, how they grow, how they toil not, they spin not. Now, go back. Jesus says, consider the lilies, how they grow. But upon their growing, they don't do what we do. They don't toil. They toil not. They don't spin out of control, not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory, we know how the Bible talks about Solomon, his kingdom, how it was made, his glory, to replicate the kingdom of heaven. He says, so I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Verse 28. If then God so clothed the grass, comma, which is today in the field, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you with a new garment? O ye of little faith? Question mark. How much do we put our trust in God? How much do we really trust God? That's tea, not coffee this morning. How much do we really trust God? Jesus is saying, if the birds, the animals, the grass, the lilies grow, and they don't whine and complain on a daily basis, and this is every day God takes care of them, why are you complaining about God taking care of you? It's all in his control. It's all in his hands, right? That's what we say. Then how much, that's today's Bible verse of the day, how much more do you trust God? Okay, because the Bible is clear about what he's saying in these verses. Okay, let me get back to the verse of the day, and let's get back to, let me see if I can get to the bottom of this page. Every time I want to go out, it wants to exit out of the app completely, and that's not what I wanted to do. So let's go, being that that's the Bible verse of the day, Luke 12 and 27. So we had to go all the way back up to 24 and then go down 28, Luke 12, 28 and 29. But we stopped at 28. Again, in these end times, these last days, patience will be tested. Your faith will be tested. Your trust will be tested. If you, and like me, we go out and we look outside and we look at God's wonders every day. Trees don't worry about what's coming tomorrow. The birds, the squirrels, animals, the grass, the flowers, none of that of God's creation is worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. Birds don't fly around, what about my nest? I'm about to be evicted. They don't do that. God is saying they don't worry about what to eat, because God feeds them every day. But us on the human side, we do that. We trip out every day about, start stressing ourselves out about things that God said, you have no need to do that. You're already taken care of. Because you can't see it, we get the Thomas spirit and we start doubting. How much do you really trust God? Deuces.